Hey kids, it's Mr. Flower here, hope you're well. And welcome back to the channel for another bike review. Today, as you saw from the thumbnail, I'm on the MT-09 SP from Yamaha. I'm extremely excited to be riding this because I recently rode the standard MT-09 and I absolutely love that bike. Anyway, stick around and stay tuned. Let me tell you if I think the SP is worth the extra 1700 quid over the standard bike. So folks, welcome back to lovely Great Missenden here in sunny South Buckinghamshire. It's a lovely summer's day to be out on the SP. Before we get into what the bike's like to ride, I need to pay some bills. Let's get a quick advert out the way. So, say you've been scouring the classifieds for your ideal second-hand bike and you found a Yamaha you like the looks of, but how do you know what the history of that bike is? Is there a way that you could find out whether, say, this bike has been crashed in the past, whether it's a write-off, something like that? Well, there is a way you can find out, and it's by using something called Car Vertical. So, you may have heard of Car Vertical from other YouTube channels or elsewhere, but did you know it doesn't just protect you when you buy a new car, but motorcycles too? Let me show you how. Okay, so let me show you how this works using my iPhone here, because that way I can show you exactly what I'm looking at on the screen as I'm doing it. So supposing I want to have a look at a particular bike I was interested in, this Yamaha here. Let's pull up the report on Car Vertical. It says loading report, and here we are, comes up, and immediately I can see here from this little picture at the top that this bike has been crashed at some point. But let me take you through some of the details that you get on Car Vertical. So we see the odometer looks good, financial legal status looks good, but it does say damage needs attention. If we scroll down, we can see there's some photographs of the damage, pretty major. We'll look at those in a second. But also we can see it hasn't been stolen in the past. We can see the odometer readings. We can see it's always gone up, so it hasn't been rolled back or anything. Financial legal status is good, but we can see that actually it was also there. Look, our vehicle was marked as an insurance write-off. So yeah, pretty badly damaged that one. Let's just out of interest have a look at these pictures. This looks horrendous. Look at that, absolutely mangalated. Can't even tell, as I say, can't tell what sort of Yamaha it is, but I can see there it's a Diversion. Diversion F. I had one of those once. Wasn't this one, I'm glad to say. But yeah, check out these pictures. Look, an absolute mangled mess. Might be a few spare parts, but that's it. But otherwise, I would steer clear of that one. So in short, Car Vertical is a super useful way of giving yourself some sort of peace of mind before you pull the trigger on buying that second-hand motorcycle purchase. Now the good news is I can get you 20% off of Car Vertical if you use the code FLYER when you request your reports. I'll stick a link below in the description of the video. Click on that one and you'll get an extra discount, or indeed I'll put a link below in the comments below as well, so you can click on that one too if you want to. So all that remains to be said is thank you very much indeed to Car Vertical for sponsoring this video. That's the end of the advert. Let's get back to the video. Welcome back to part 2, folks. Looks like a few motorcyclists in at Matilda's today. Excellent idea. Great little cafe that is locally. If you want to explore some local rides and then have a brew, that's the place to go. Anyway, I digress. So back to the MT-09 SP then. I said it's got some extra bling over the standard bike. Well, it's the usual SP recipe in that it's got a different paint scheme, slightly different colour wheels and so on. I'll show you those in a second. It's got better suspension and it's got better brakes. That's pretty much the only difference. Oh crikey, look, I'm stuck behind two vans. I'll tell you what, while I'm stuck behind these, let me show you those changes and then we'll come back and I'll tell you what it's like to ride. I'll try and lose these in the meantime. Okay, so here she is. What do you make of that, folks? I think the MT-09 is quite a looker now. I like what they've done, particularly in this SP colour scheme. I mean, I showed you this before, obviously, when we looked around the original standard SP, so I'll just point out the bits that are slightly different on this, but I do think it's a handsome looking bike now, the 2024 machine. So the bits to point out, I guess, then, are, well, the paint scheme you can see. You get these nice blue wheels and this sort of R1 inspired paint scheme, which I think looks really nice on the bike. The gold forks, of course, and now you've got these Brembo Stylema brakes as well. They don't come any better than that, do they? So great stopping power on here. Coming around, you can see also Öhlins suspension tucked in there. There's one of the adjusters, and you've got this beautiful brushed aluminium swing arm, as well as obviously the rear wheel in that blue as well. Oh, by the way, here's I've been using for the first time the new Insta360 X4. That's the camera I've been using for the 360 shots you've seen. Let me know if they look any better. It actually works in 8K now, so hopefully they should be much sharper. It means you can sort of zoom in and crop your pictures a bit better than you could on the outgoing camera. I used to use the X3, but that's now, as I say, the X4. I will do a full review on that in due course, but
yeah, it's got quite a few more features in the old camera. Hopefully you can see a difference in that 360 footage on this one. As I say, 8K now, so pretty impressive stuff. Anyway, back to the bike. So yeah, coming around, I don't think there's anything to point out at the back end that's particularly different. On this side again, of course, you've got that new finish on the swing arm, which looks lovely, and the other adjuster for the fancy Öhlins suspension. There's that beautiful CP3 triple cylinder engine, of which more later. And yeah, she's a looker, isn't she? Really like what they've done with this. I like what they did with the standard bike, and I like the SP even more. Alright, let's get back on and see what she's like to ride. So welcome back, folks. I haven't managed to lose these vans yet, but I'm about to attempt to. If I can see a bit of clear road ahead, which I can't yet, I shall quickly squirt by these. There's one at least. Oh, let's get both. There we go, no problem. For the MT-09, of course. What a cracking machine. The engine on here, absolutely amazing. We'll go through the specs very quickly in a minute, but first off, let's talk about the ride on this bike. Now, I'm not a particularly expert rider. I don't have a particularly sensitive backside. It would have to be an amazing difference for me to tell the difference, to be honest. But already, I can tell that this suspension is a big improvement over the old suspension. It's got the Öhlins stuff on here, as you saw, and these roads are absolutely shocking here, but it is eating these bumps up with absolute aplomb. It's lovely. Now, this is in the standard settings that it came out the box, so to speak, normal factory settings, and it is eating up these pothole roads absolutely beautifully. It's a lovely warm day today, so the grip off these tyres is amazing. Oh, what a brilliant bike this is. I flipping love these MT-09s. I was thinking the other day, I saw a video, somebody was talking about what their bike of the year was. And I can't remember what their bike of the year was actually, but if I were to have a bike of the year, the MT-09 would be it, I tell you. It's absolutely brilliant, this. I love it. Now, riding position and everything is pretty much, I was going to go down there, but maybe I'll do it in reverse. There's a van gone the way on it. Stay, thank you. Riding position pretty much exactly the same as the standard MT-09. I can't notice any difference anyway. If they have changed it, it feels the same to me. It's a lovely, comfortable riding position. I'm sat with a little bit of a slope forward, as hopefully you can see. My legs are quite tucked up in a sporty-ish position, but not too sporty, and I'm not leant very far forward. I've got no weight on my wrists whatsoever. It's a great sort of aggressive riding position. Feels very much the same to me as bikes like the Street Triple, for example. And of course, that is the classic competitor to this, I guess. The Street Triple RS would be the obvious competitor to the MT-09 SP. So at the end of the review, I'll let you know which I would have. Let's just go down this, again, very bumpy but fun road. I'm in sport mode, by the way. One of the extra things you get with the SP is some more track-focused riding modes. I'm not a track rider, so I won't be trying those out today. Man, this is such a fun bike. Hello. Brakes work really well. Thank you. I could tell by fun, didn't it? But at least I got a real word. Try the brakes. Absolutely phenomenal stopping power, as you'd expect from the Brembos. And again, this road is shocking for bumps, but Öhlins is just swallowing it up beautifully. I love these roads because these are national speed limit 60-mile-an-hour roads. You can absolutely spank them on this and you're not breaking the speed limit. Brilliant. One thing I don't like, oh god, this one's got loose chipping, so I'm going to have to be a bit careful down here. One thing I don't like about the new MT-09, it's the same with the standard bike, and indeed the same with the GP sort of retro sports type bike thing. Can't remember what that's called now, but I rode that recently. I'll put a link in the corner to that as well. They've all got the same. It's this switch gear for the indicator. It's got this weird button arrangement. You get used to it, but I don't know why Yamaha had to change that. That was something that didn't need fixing in the first place. Everything else that you're looking at and so on looks exactly the same to my eyes as the standard MT-09. Does have cruise control, which is a massive plus on this bike. So this is a bike that you could ride on tour, strap a bag to the back and a rucksack, ride away on tour, use the cruise control on the motorways to get to where you're going, and then have absolute laugh when you get to the Alps or wherever, and really enjoy this bike. Now, how bumpy is this road down here? Absolutely terrible. But yeah, that Öhlins really does a good job of it. Hoping my new 360 camera is picking up some of this. As I say, it's the first time I've used that 360. I shall be intrigued to see what the picture quality is like. Right, quick shifter on here. Lovely. I love the size of this. You can just grip the tank nicely. I'm 5'8" with a 32-inch leg, not inseam, trouser leg. And this bike fits me absolutely perfectly. I love the wail from the triple. It feeds you that induction noise through these little grills in the top of the fuel tank there. Yamaha have just gone out their way to make this a fun machine. And now the looks of it aren't terrible. I didn't like previous versions of the MT-09 from a looks point of view, but this one I think looks acceptable. And now is absolutely the back lane blaster as far as I'm concerned. It's brilliant. Look at these white vans. Not one, but two. Alright, while I'm stuck behind this Audi, let me quickly whiz you through the specs, just to let you know what they're all about in case you missed them from before. Okay, first off, that 890cc CP3 triple cylinder engine, exactly the same as that's found in the standard bike, still putting out 119 PS and 93 Newton meters of torque. Absolutely the same headline figures as the standard bike, as I say. Fantastic engine though. Brakes on the SP, you get the same 298mm front disc, now gripped with Brembo Stylema calipers, as I said. On the back, a 245mm disc, exactly the same as the standard bike. Suspension at the front are these 41mm DLC, which stands for Diamond Light Coating, apparently KYB forks, which are an upgrade over the standard bike. And at the back, of course, you get the lovely adjustable Öhlins. Seat height on the SP, 825mm, no change there. Wet weight of the bike, bizarrely, there is a change. This is 194 kilograms wet, which is actually 1 kilogram heavier than the standard bike. No idea why. Tank capacity, still 14 litres. Talking electronics, main additions are over the standard bike are those 4 more track-focused riding modes. And then the other thing is this here, look. This is the first attempt that Yamaha has had at keyless ignition. They call it Smart Key keyless ignition. There are loads of electronics generally on the bike, so check out the website for full details. And then, of course, the other change over the standard bike is the price. This comes in, according to the website at the time of filming, at £11,806, and the non-SP is £10,106, so I'll make that £1,700 difference. Okay, welcome back aboard the MT-09 SP. Some debate as to what SP actually stands for. I'm going with Special Performance. And Yamaha always come out with the SP versions of their bikes, don't they? Usually 6 months to a year after the standard bike. And they usually have better suspension and better brakes, so we're well used to this formula. The question that I posed at the start of the video, of course, is it worth the extra money, the £1,700 extra that it'll cost you? Well, you know what, even though I'm not a sports bike rider or a particularly sporty rider or a track day fiend, so the extra track day riding modes don't help me out, I do think the suspension is a massive improvement over the standard, and for that reason alone I personally would go for the SP version. I also love this paint scheme. I love the blue wheels. I love the wheels on the standard bike, but these just look a little bit more classy. And of course, you get extra bragging rights down the pub if that's your thing. Now, that's not my thing, but you have to believe me on that one. Yeah, that and the brakes, it's actually pretty good value. You couldn't upgrade the standard bike for that. I'm loving this warm, sticky tarmac. Absolutely fabulous. Opportunity knocks, nothing behind. See you down there, mate. The beauty of this, as I say, is you can ride it on these 60-mile-an-hour back roads, have an awful lot of fun, and you're not actually breaking the speed limit. Well, not by much anyway. Or you can ride it really docile, and she doesn't complain. comfort wise, I have to say this seat feels really good. I don't remember the standard MT-09 being particularly comfortable, but this feels really good. I should have watched my review of that bike before I rode this one. This is my first ride, by the way, of this, so these really are my initial impressions. You're getting it straight as it's coming out of my brain, and as you've gathered, I absolutely love the thing. I mean, other than that slightly strange indicator switchgear, there's nothing not to like with these. There really isn't. So would I have one over the Street Triple RS? That's the next question, because that bike is an absolutely fantastic machine as well, and I do love Trance and I do love the Street Triple. But in my case, I did own a Street Triple for a long time, about 10 years or so. Okay, not the current version, but I have got Street Triple kind of out of my system, as much as I love that bike, and I'm not saying I'll never have one in the future, because they are brilliant. And I think if you stand this next to the Street Triple RS, the RS possibly has a little bit more go. But it's a while since I rode it, so don't quote me on that. But for me personally, as somebody that's already owned a Street Triple, I would take this if I was in the market for one of these, because I haven't owned a Yamaha for a long time, and this little puppy just ticks all the boxes for me. It really does. Sadly, I've only got the bike for another day. They're coming to pick it up tomorrow. I have had it for a couple of weeks, and unfortunately, just the way Diary's worked out, I've been away on a bike tour all of last week, and I haven't been around much over the weekend, so I haven't had a chance to ride it. I'm absolutely gutted about it, because obviously I've been aware it's been on the driveway, and I've been thinking, oh, I cannot wait to ride the MT-09 based on how much I loved the standard bike, and I've barely ridden it at all. In fact, this bike isn't even running. Looking at the odo, it's done 562 miles. So confidence inspiring on these corners though. The grip is fantastic, handling is superb, quick shift is lovely. Oh, got to slow down, I'm in a 40 here. In fact, there's a good chance to just ride her slowly. Here we go, look, 30 miles an hour in third. Any problem with the fueling? Not that I can feel. Not that they're going to be riding one of these much at 30 mile an hour, I would suggest. Let's go down to second, nothing behind me. No, feels good to me. Again, I'm not the most sensitive rider, but that throttle and the fueling is not a problem to me. Just a lovely, lovely thing. Yamaha have really upped their game with the MT-09 for the 2024 model year. They've at last made it look acceptable to my eyes, at least. That's of course subjective. And now with this SP version, it's just an absolutely brilliant machine. So yeah, I'm going to call it my bike of the year. Let's go with that. Unless something else amazing comes out between now and December, which I don't think is going to happen, let's face it. It's certainly not a bike that I'm going to ride. This is it for me. Fabulous. Wait, thank you. Anything coming down there? You're all good. Oh yeah, what a bike. Love it. Alright, so that's it for my first ride on the MT-09 SP. I've absolutely loved it, as you can tell. Nothing bad to say about the bike. Thank you Yamaha for making it. Thank you to Yamaha for lending it to me. And thank you to you for watching the review. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I don't just do bike reviews here on the channel. I do bits and pieces about looking after your bike in the garage, bike tours at home and abroad, monthly bike news, live streams occasionally, all sorts of other stuff. You name it, I'll try and cover it here on the Mr. Flyer. It would be great to have you along. But that's it for now. Until next time, this has been the Mr. Flyer. Cheerio.